Hello, Egal.
What's up? Mo, I don't know why you laughed when I came on screen. How you doing, bro? Listen, I'm just gonna say this. When it comes to Liverpool, I did tell you, Ram. I did tell you. Hussam did warn you. I don't know if just G was on the same page as Hussam. Sam, you're relatively calm, but when it comes to Liverpool fans, understand that this was foreshadowed from the beginning. You guys said you didn't have the squad. You guys said you guys were not expecting to be in a title race this season. You guys played out of your skin and reached a peak at the season. And now this season alone, you've seen the highs and the lows of a Jurgen Klopp side. You guys ran out of gas near the end, and also ran out of confidence. The moment you dropped those points versus Aston Villa, the moment you got knocked out by Manchester United, Atlanta, and then the final straw that broke the camel's back was the Crystal Palace game. Today's game was another form of that situation.
I think it started against Man City.
The moment Aston Villa gained some confidence, Liverpool shrunk, and they're like, you know what? It's done. Basically, you got at that point, I thought you guys were going to even lose. Aston Villa had all the confidence. You were 3-1 up and threw it away. And week 30 in the Premier League, I said, I want Man City to lose to Liverpool in that title decider because I knew you guys were going to drop points. I knew you guys were going to get to this situation. But now I'm just going to say this. This season alone, we've witnessed the past, the present, and the future of Liverpool Football Club. You guys are going to be a top 4 team next year. And I think that's going to be what your future is going forward. We've seen the peaks of where you guys were challenging for the title. Jurgen Klopp looking good, playing fluid football. Mo Salah banging in form. Van Dijk playing amazing. And then we've seen the past also. We've seen moments where you guys didn't have as much confidence going into the season. So this culmination this season is well and truly an example of what Jurgen Klopp has done at your club. He's given you guys so much confidence, and at times you guys always come short. And hopefully my team doesn't have the same fate as you guys.
How do you know we're not going to improve
it's going to happen
this
this
year?
season. We're not coming short this season. But actually, what Egal's saying, I actually did say this earlier on, that I don't think Liverpool are going to be touching a title in the next three years. I'm not going to lie to you.
I want to know, how did you guys deal with 97 points, 92 points? How on earth did you deal with that loss? Because right now, if I lose, I'm going to be sad. But I couldn't imagine 97 points.
Because we won a Champions League. That's how we dealt with it.
Yeah,
that's true. You
could say that. I think just simplify it. When you come up against a team that is just better than you, you can kind of live with it. Like, you're not losing to a team that you believe is worse than you. So to get that many points, you did your best. You didn't you didn't finish the season and it was like, we couldn't do our best and gain these points. At the end of the day,
and you probably just articulated it so much better than I did on the Top 6 show yesterday, where we were talking about like what is success, what is failure. And I was making an example that there were people that run some of the fastest times in human history during Usain Bolt's peak, but they didn't win the major medals because he was just faster. But they were still one of the fastest men to ever run on this planet. That doesn't make them failures because they didn't win those Olympic golds or those it just sometimes who you come up against counts. And we were talking about the enjoyment of football and how if you can only enjoy it when you win, you may go through some periods where no matter how good you are, there's just a team or an individual sports, a group of people that are just that little bit better. And no matter how hard you work, no matter how hard you push, you don't get over the line. But I think that's how you deal with it. Like City are just, generally speaking, they're better. They have been and are better than both of your teams. And if you live with that, doesn't mean you shouldn't push your team to get better. Shouldn't mean you shouldn't ask to keep going. But I agree with you, G, 100%.
No, I was gonna say this. Like, even I wouldn't say the 2021-22. I would say more we messed about in the beginning of the season and we had to catch up to I think it was like a 14-point deficit.
14.
Yeah, 14-point deficit. So it didn't hurt as much then, but I would say it did hurt 18-19 season because that was probably one of the best, not even Liverpool teams. That was probably one of the best Premier League teams I've seen all time, and we still didn't win it. But again, we won the Champions League, and it's one of those things. It's like when you see a team like that, you're going to win trophies. It's just when and how you're going to do it. So yeah, like, but going back to what I said, at this point, I really do not. I really hope they change my mind and they prove me wrong. But I really don't see Liverpool with the manager that we have, with everything that's going on. I really don't see Liverpool really going for a title for the next 3 years.
I think it depends on the transfer window. If we have a really good transfer window where we get some players in that are of that certain quality, then it may change my mind. But again, there's a lot of ifs and buts. Like we're asking to have like an 18-19 transfer window where we just go out and sign one of the best goalkeepers or one of the best DMs.
There's no evidence to say that the manager that's coming in is going to be able to have success with you guys. That's the truth. There's no evidence to say that he will be a failure. But to come into Premier League, we've seen managers from other leagues struggle when in their first season to get used to the league. So it could be a situation. Not only is it going to be a transition for you guys as a team, it could be a transition year for the manager also, getting used to a new league, getting used to a new situation where he's facing teams and different styles.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's no guarantee in either direction. I think you're absolutely right. I think at the very least, I mean, the record of Dutch managers in the Premier League is not particularly good. At the same time, I hate saying this, but Martin Edwards is. No, it's not
Michael Edwards.
Martin Edwards, Man United. Edwards is absolutely phenomenal at his job. So it's the trust that I think Liverpool fans have in him that it probably makes them a little bit relaxed. But I think you've got to, at least we've got to watch some pre-season football at least before I think we start to make that call. Because the one thing I would say is I don't think any of us sitting here, Strasbourg Steve isn't with us today, has been watching Feyenoord play football. Like I just don't, none of us have watched it. So we don't really have any anecdotal views on something that we haven't watched and seen. A few more super chats here. First one says, if Liverpool beat Palace, Everton, West Ham, and Villa, they would be 3 points clear right now with the title in their hands. Biggest bottle job ever is what Jay Gooney has got to say here.
If Arsenal beat Fulham, West Ham, it's the same stuff, bro. You cannot nitpick the games. It's the whole season. You have to look at it. You can't just nitpick.
It's true. I mean, look, I look at it this way, right? If Man United would have beaten Spurs, Arsenal, Brighton, Crystal Palace, Man City, Newcastle, Bournemouth, if we'd have won all those, we'd be in title race as well. Do you know? We do it for everybody. Do you know what I mean? It's not pressure. Diaz and Nunes are just shit. Is what David says here. I can't believe Mo and Sam have a channel together. The channel reminds me of myself. Two people who argue a lot, however, create something great together. Hang on a minute, but you said reminds you of yourself.
How can two people remind you of yourself?
Yeah. Have you seen the film Split? Have you seen
Yes.
Patricia.
I love it. Big up yourself, Zane. Klopp is making trash transfers, and it's Klopp. Yeah, Klopp's not. I don't think many managers are good at transfers nowadays. It's a thing. And Gunnar adds here, says, "Come on, you Spurs." Well, yes, I'm sure every Arsenal fan will be putting on their imaginary Spurs shirts tomorrow, hoping for a Tottenham win. I think for the Premier League, I would like. Look, I know you guys probably won't agree, but I'd like a Spurs win tomorrow because it makes the final day of the season amazing. Actually, do you know
what you guys wouldn't agree? I'd agree. I want Spurs to beat City.
Do you know what? Not even a Spurs win. Do you know what? I'd like a Spurs draw because then it will be decided probably on goal difference, which means the day is a bit more of a shootout.
2.0.
Can you imagine?
You just want payback for that Aguero, don't you, Terry?
No, do you know what it is? No, I mean, I don't want City to win it. That's not a dig at City. It's just a four-peat thing. But
listen,
I'm honestly thinking about it from a content creating point of view. And if you go into the final day of the season, say it's Arsenal a point ahead or City are 2 points ahead. If either Arsenal or City goes 1 or 2-0 up in the opening 20 minutes, all the excitement's gone. It's finished. It's over. I want it to be where it doesn't matter if one team goes 2-0 up, the other team could still score 4 or 5 goals and win the league. It would just be, I think it would be amazing viewing. I'm
Terry, imagine this. Ange Postecoglou delivers Arsenal their first league title in 20 years by beating Man City at home. His fans will want him on a stick after that. It's going to be mental.
Maybe, but not if listen, Villa have got to go Crystal Palace final day of the season. That is not an easy place right now. If they win Tottenham, I think that's a lot of public gesturing. If they were to win tomorrow, They then play Sheffield United final game of the season. They could find themselves in the Champions League next year. Now, I'm sure Ange is pushing that into his players a lot more than he's listening to the fans say, please, please lose. I don't think the managers, when did Arsenal lose in Baku when the same time as Spurs were in Champions League final?
Yeah.
I know there was all those videos of AFTV guys saying, I'd rather lose the final so Spurs don't win. There's no way, though, Poch went, guys, do you know what I mean? Have you seen those videos on AFTV? I think there's no way, Unai Emery went in and said, guys, we've got to throw this final against Chelsea. It just wouldn't happen. So I don't think it matters. But anyway, boys, I appreciate you all coming on. One of probably the final individual Liverpool match reaction show of the season. So I appreciate you all coming on so diligently throughout the course of the campaign.